Good morning, everyone. This is Maria from Ember Reborns. Let's see, this morning I am going to be working on Kate and Ember, and I wanted to come on and just make a short video. Well, it probably won't be that short, but I always say short video for some reason. I try to keep it short. So I'm going to be doing a yellow wash, and what this basically is just some paint thinner with some yellow and some white, and I know my white is somewhere. Some white, and I just put a little bit of each in there until I get this yellow, like banana or lemon yellow, and then I just do a wash on each limb. So I have Ember. I already did Kate, so this is Ember. This has so far 8 layers of paint. It has 4 of the Baby Skin 08. I always get 08 and 06 confused. It's the lighter one. I think it's 08. So it has about 4 layers of that, and it has 4 layers of modeling. And I don't know if you can pick up the modeling. And now I'm just going to do a yellow wash on it. So yesterday was my daughter's first day back at school, and I always get a little bit of anxiety when my kids go back to school. And this year was no different. You know, they're getting older, and it doesn't make any difference. I still get anxious and worried, and I don't know if that's ever going to change, but I don't enjoy it very much. You know, I hear a lot of mothers talk about how thankful they are that their kids are back in school, and it just frees up their time and makes life a whole lot easier when your kids are in school. But for me, it just drives a lot of anxiety into my life. And so this morning I dropped them off, and I will be taking them to school this week, but starting next week, Grandma and Grandpa will be the ones to take them and pick them up from school. And so, you know, the traffic is just so bad. Everything backs up. If you don't leave home with plenty of time, then you run the risk of them being late. And it's just a constant mind game. You know, are they going to be safe? If my parents have to go pick them up, will they find parking because it's just so bad, the traffic? Will they be able to find parking? And my parents, you know, they're a little bit older. My dad is in his mid-70s, and my mom is still in her 60s, but my brother passed away 4 years ago, and my mother just has not been the same. She aged a lot since my brother's passing, and she just carries herself like a much older woman than her 67 years. But what are you gonna do? So anyway, they will be picking up my kids from school starting next week and dropping them off. So yesterday when we went to pick up our kids from school, my husband and I both took the day off, and when we went to pick them up, they couldn't find us. And so we gave them explicit directions as to where we were parked, and it took them a good 5 to 10 minutes just to find our car because there's just so much traffic. I cannot stress that enough. It's chaos out there. And they finally found us and all was good. But you know, my kids do not speak Spanish and my parents do not speak English. So we were able to connect the dots as far as finding each other via phone. You know, do you see the bus? You need to walk down that street, and you see the other bus. It just parked. You know, follow that bus, and we're across the street. But my parents will not have that luxury because they cannot communicate with my kids. And my mom has babysat my kids since they were born, but my kids do not speak Spanish. So my train of thought on that is that she did not speak to my kids very often. And you know, she didn't speak to me a lot when I was growing up. I know in one of my other videos I've shared with you guys that I don't have a very close relationship with my parents. And it's because growing up, to me it just seemed like my dad worked. His responsibility was to put food on the table, and my mom's responsibility was to make sure that we were fed and clothed and taken care of. But I can't say that I have a lot of memories of my mom and I actually talking to each other. And that's sad. But with my kids, I'm like, you know, that's their grandma. But it still doesn't seem it made much of a difference because, like I said, my kids should be fluent in Spanish because my mom has always been here to babysit them, make sure they get to school. And when I say my mom, I also mean my dad. They're attached at the hip, so they're both retired. Well, my mom was always a homemaker, but my dad retired, and so they're always together. And my kids don't speak Spanish. So anyway, I'm stressed about just making sure that everyone finds each other and that no one gets lost, no one gets hit by a car. And my mind is the type that will always go to the worst case scenario. And I like to say that I put things in place that will prevent those worst case scenarios from ever happening. One of my mottos is I'd rather be safe than sorry. And that's why I've always been very careful with my kids, and when I am not with them, I stress out. You know, I do stress out. Just, I'm not there to hold their hands, and I know they're older, and I don't want to sound like a helicopter parent, but you know, those fears of something happening just freak me out. So anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. Today's my day off, so I am home and I'm by myself, and I'm just hoping and praying that my kids are doing well in school. They're just a phone call away, so I have to preach that to myself all day. No news is good news. If something happened, if something went wrong, they would be in touch with me because they both can communicate with me with their phones, which is something we didn't have growing up. So anyway, okay, let me grab Let me grab Ember. He's out of reach. Let me bring his limbs and head over closer to me. So anyway, okay, so I've been debating whether or not to share a story about something that happened to me as a reborn artist a couple of years ago. So let me go ahead and stop this video. It's already at 10 minutes, so I'll stop it and I'll start another one so I can tell you guys my story. See you in a little bit, okay? Bye.